Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I am super excited that I'm here and that you are there, because guess what? You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join us here this morning on Saturday Morning Real. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, indeed. And while I'm thanking you, I also want to thank you for all of your prayers, your comments, your shares, your likes. We love to have them here at Build Your Best Life. So thank you so very much. As we continue this month with our blueprint for resources, no matter what profession you're in, what your status in life, you can use resources. So if you're a student, if you are a new employee, if you are a professional, an entrepreneur, a writer, a designer, a music mogul, any of these things, you can always use resources to stay on top of your craft or to learn new things. If you're having an issue in life with your health, with your mental health, your weight, low self-esteem, there are resources out there that you can utilize. But you have to know where those resources are and how you can get connected with them. So this month has been a time of people sharing great resources, a lot of good information. So if you have missed any of our broadcasts, please go back on YouTube. And see, this is why it's important to subscribe to my YouTube page so you can get there quickly. But that would be Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith on YouTube. Or you can go to my Build Your Best Life Facebook page and look at all of the broadcasts from this month. Well, today, as we go along our month of talking about different resources and how information is very, very helpful to us, my topic today is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Just think about that. You don't know what you don't know. And that can be any day, any situation, wherever you are. It is just amazing what you run into that you learn that you didn't know. And I'm often have said, you can learn something new every day. Just take it this morning, for instance. I turned on the TV and I don't know what I was watching yesterday, but the station that came on, it was one of the morning broadcasts. And I believe one of the ladies, now I think her name is Rhoda, I could be wrong, but it was two ladies and they were interviewing this guy and he was talking about different music events that were coming up. And then they got to talking about the Super Bowl and what entertainment we will have in the future for the halftime performances. And one of the ladies asked, well, how do they know or who's responsible for getting the halftime entertainment? And I was floored because they didn't even know when they asked this question. They had no idea. But the answer to the question is, it's Jay-Z. Who would have thought? Jay-Z is responsible for all the halftime shows that we see every year during the Super Bowl. I didn't know that. So you don't know what you don't know. I never thought about it, but I just assumed that the NFL had a committee that worked in that area and they found someone each year. Never knew that was somebody's expertise or line of information, or I guess it's a position that they hold and they're responsible for. So I learned something that I didn't know. Take it when you go looking for a new car and you go and you may have something in mind that you want to do. That you want to purchase. You've seen it on the road. You've heard people talk about it. You've done research. But until you go to that showroom and begin to look at the different vehicles, sit in them, ask questions, some of the features, you're like, wow, whew, I didn't know that. When I purchased my vehicle, I had been looking at this brand for a while. I like the outside, but of course I had never been inside one. And so some of the features to me were just amazing. And then they didn't tell me some of the features. So of course, the first time I'm outside, I don't remember if I had driven somewhere or I was in the garage, but it was at night and I closed my doors and went away and got ready to walk away from the car. And I looked and my emblem was down. The lights were showing on the pavement. I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't know that was going to be there. So it was something that I didn't know that the car had that feature. You go to a class, you may do research or ask people, I have to take microeconomics, and I heard that course is really, really tough. So I'm not looking forward to it. Do you know who a good professor would be, or one that, explains it really well, is interested in the students? And you may get some advice, but until you walk in that class, see the demeanor of that professor, their teaching method, and the way they do things, you don't know. So you don't know what you don't know about that class until you get in there. It may work out well, or it may be one of those things like, I might need to drop this right now. So you don't know what you don't know. Today I'm going to kind of run through some things and talk a little bit more about it. But, as you travel through life's journey, you will navigate based on your blueprint for success. So hopefully you have one of those. Or if you don't, then what do? You play it by ear. But often as you move along, everything is not smooth sailing. You run into pitfalls, rough terrain, all types of obstacles. You will run into situations that, hey, you thought they were possible, but then you ran into something. So sometimes it's like you will hit something like, just imagine you're on the ocean and you're traveling and you're outside and you're just looking and everything is just clear, just beautiful. And all of a sudden and you just, hey, there was an iceberg, but it was only showing beneath the surface. You didn't know what you didn't know. And apparently the captain of the ship didn't know either. So sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. I'm going to keep saying that. But I want to go through some things that may be aha moments for you as I talk about this. And if you just joined us, yes, we're again talking about different resources where you can get information from. But sometimes you don't even know what you need to ask about because you don't know what you don't know. Right, man? So let's talk about some of these things. One, you hear people, I won't even go there yet. Let's just say you're watching something on TV. You're going to see 2 or 3 commercials about different credit cards, a Chase card, get this, get this one. It's got a new introductory interest offer. Get this. This is a good card to have, whatever. And then you get offers in the mail. You get offers when you get online. You're trying to scroll through to see different things, and you're getting all these ads. But also, maybe you've been warned. You have to be very, very careful when you get those credit cards. You don't want to get credit cards. Only get a credit card and use it in case of emergencies. You don't want to do that. And sometimes you tell people and they just look at you, and other times it's like, I wonder what they're talking about. Many times, though, people learn the hard way. They don't know what they don't know. And even though they've heard people say, hey, don't do it, they go and do it anyway. Because you tell somebody, hey, you can get a credit card and it can have a low minimum and you can still take you 5, 10, 15, 20 years to pay that credit card off, even if you don't buy anything else. And they kind of look at you like, you know what? When people don't know what they're talking about, they need to be quiet. But you do. It's they don't know what they don't know. And as an example, I did some research. If you get a credit card and your max is $2,000 and you max that card out, and let's just say the interest rate, because this is probably one that's kind of like can be in the middle. This interest rate is 18.24%. Now, when you get that bill, they're not going to tell you need to pay $50, $1,000, or whatever. And they're going to show you the minimum amount due. If you pay that minimum amount due each month, let's just say it comes up to $25 on these examples I'm going to give you, guess how long it will take you to pay back that $2,000, even if you never charge another penny? Give up. It will take you 8 years and 11 months to pay back that $2,000, and you will end up paying back $9,600. No, I think I'm wrong. You will end up paying back $3,558. So that's like, what, $1,500 more. Okay. So you get a $5,000. That's your max. And you max it up. You know it don't take long nowadays. Hey, I want to get that new iPhone 16 that's out. Buy me a new pair of Jordans. What else can I get? Get my car detail. Before you know it, you maxed out. Oh, gotta pay this thing off. Okay. Still, let's just say 18.24% again. And you get that minimum payment, it still might not be but $25. You pay that minimum, and that's all you pay. Yes, come on. How long do you think it'll take? For this $5,000, it's going to take you 14 years and 1 month to pay it back. 14 years. And you're going to pay back $9,685, almost twice the amount that you borrowed utilizing that credit card. Because you didn't know what you didn't know. Now, let's just say that same $5,000 with everything else I said, the minimum payment, but now the interest rate is 24.24%. Because they saw you coming. It will take you 20 years and 3 months to pay back that $5,000 just because the interest rate is higher. And you're going to, so you're going to pay back $14,429. That's almost 3 times the amount that you originally got. So I say all of that to say that it's very important to have a financial coach or get you some type of financial literacy training, research information, research some of these things before you do them. When you hear people say things like this, don't just take for granted that they don't know what they're talking about. Do some research and maybe you won't get that credit card, but you will save yourself some headaches, save yourself some money, because that's money that you could have been putting aside for that emergency fund, that vacation fund, or for your future children's or your children's or grandchildren's future. Yes. All right. You go to college, and if you like me, you know that you get there and they wish your child off. They are not a child anymore, according to them. So they whisk them off to select their classes. Mom and dad don't get to go with them. So they know or should know what major they're working on. They take those classes and you think all is well. And so they get near the end and I only need 5 more credits. I got this done. And then they go and have this conversation with the dean, counselor, and yes, they almost have enough credits, or they may even have the total amount of credits that they need in order to get that degree. However, some of those classes may not count towards the degree that they are seeking. Whoops. So no degree. So then they either have to do what? Say, it is what it is, which I hope not, because that's a lot of money and time that has already been spent. So they either got to take more classes, those classes that they need in order to earn the degree that they want their major in. It's going to be more money and it's going to take more time. And if they are working as they go, their parents are working and paying for those classes as the child takes them, then they may have to take a break. So if you didn't know everything about attending college, what you needed to take, what was important, you needed to have been more engaged with your counselors, your teachers, your deans, doing a little bit of research to make sure that everything that you were taking was going to count towards the degree. Or, it could have been that you had your mind focused on one degree and those classes or courses would have been fine, but you've shifted and changed degrees now and you didn't shift your classes. So again, you don't know what you don't know sometimes, right? All right. So you get ready to purchase a car and you live in Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin, but I did some research looking for some of the coldest places. And Wisconsin, along with Alaska, is one of the most coldest places in the United States. So that's where you live. You know it's cold there. Very cold most of the time. But you want to get a sleek, new vehicle. This is something that you want. You don't do a lot of research. You're like, this is the one I want. I've worked hard. I've saved. I deserve it. And then your friends say, yeah, you deserve to get what you want. You deserve to get what you want. But you don't stop the research. Ask someone that knows those resources. Hey, it gets really, really cold here. Are there any pros with me? Any cons that's gonna negatively impact me having this car here in Wisconsin? Well, I had to do a little research because, like I said, I only lived in one cold place, and that was only for 9 months. And baby, So, according to the research I did research. So somebody might say, you don't know what you're talking about, but I did the research, I read it, and this is what I found. So let's just say, for all intensive purposes, since a lot of people now are going to the electric vehicles, that's what you wanted. You wanted an electric vehicle, a Tesla or something of that nature. Well, it appears that in the cold weather, extreme cold, and I'm not talking about Florida cold, but extreme cold, that the driving range can decrease up to 30%. So if you're there, it's freezing cold. You may have your coats and everything in there, and you know how far you have to go, and you're thinking, hey, I can make it. That range is within my limits. Because it is so cold, that range that you would normally be able to take if you were in another state in a warmer climate is going to be less now than that you are in this extreme cold. You could get stranded. And, we know what happens when people get stranded in extreme weather, whether that's cold, rain, heat, whatever. So, that should be maybe a showstopper when you are shopping. I didn't get to do a lot of the research. It was kind of like deep for me, but it was also saying that based upon how the car and the battery works, that it also takes longer to heat up the interior of a car, electric car, in that type weather. So those are some of the things that you would want to research, find out, ask someone that would know. I wouldn't say the dealership would be the best or most feasible place to go because, of course, they want to sell the vehicle. And they may say, oh, you'll be all right. Just do this. But that is something that you want to make sure that it's an expert that's providing you the information. Okay, now this is a good one. And I know this has happened to a lot of people because you don't know what you don't know and they didn't know. So they decide they want to travel outside of their country. They get their credentials together, get their clothing, got their cash, their credit cards, they're ready, they go on a trip, they enjoy it, have so much fun. They get ready to come back. Guess what? The credentials that they needed to exit their country is not sufficient for them to re-enter their country. How crazy is that? But it happens. So if you're traveling internationally, you should not only try to find out, you're looking at your cruise information and your flight information, what you need. They may say you need a passport, you need a driver's license, you need this, that, and the other, birth certificate, whatever they may say you need. But also, you want to research that country's criteria on what they're going to require when you get ready to exit that country, heading back to your country. So you don't know what you don't know till you find out sometimes. So you do the research, till you ask questions. And if you don't know what questions to ask. So resources are very, very helpful. They will assist you in every aspect of your life. But again, we don't know everything. And sometimes we don't know what to ask. But in some of these instances that I talked about, or if it's something that you know this much about, you want to do some research and ask some questions because you don't know. So ask. It never hurts to ask. So you see, if you don't seek resources in areas that you are unfamiliar with, what can happen? You can run into some pitfalls, some rough terrain, and detours may not help you out. So it is essential. Look for reliable resources before venturing into unknown critical areas. So I know when you saw this topic, you're like, oh my goodness, she talking about you don't know what you don't know. I know I don't know. Now, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So I hope that this helped. Please make sure you share. If you didn't get all of the broadcasts, please go back on my YouTube or Facebook page to get the entire broadcast. And a lot of times when I look at my Facebook comments, when you're on here, and you may say, well, why did she never call my name? That's because I don't see that you're here. Because I'll look at some of the comments and it'll say, invite them to follow. And I'm like, they're not already following me. And so I don't want to invite you if you're already following. But if you don't hear me call your name, that's probably why you're really not following me. You know how to get on here, but you have not selected to follow. And turn on those notifications so you'll know when Build Your Best Life is on and you won't miss a beat. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube page, even if you are a Facebook fan. So thank you so much again for joining in today. I look forward Tuesday, Blueprint for Success. My guest is going to be Derek Durden from Dallas, Texas. And if you follow my the conversation with the guys on second Saturdays, you've probably seen Derek. He's going to be my guest this Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Times, which is 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So my time, 6:30. Our topic is going to be still small voice. That still small voice. So I really, really hope everyone here will tune in and you will pass the word so we can have a full house, have lots of fun as we talk about that still small voice. Remember, this year, we are not only talking about writing that blueprint for success, we are also declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your lives. And you know that what that is, God wants you to have prosperity. He doesn't want you to have disaster. And he also wants you to have the future that you hope for. So please, please, please design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. Put in the work and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I look forward to seeing most of you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.